Welcome to Soupy Sunday. I love it, don't you? It's that time of year where we're all wanting to make soups. And honestly, it is like 6:30 at night. My family's hungry. I haven't even started anything. Look at me, I'm a hot mess. So I've been thinking about making some ham and beans for a while now because I have some ham bits that were in the freezer that needed used. And I have a plenty good supply of beans. And then I also have this bone from a pork roast at some point. So I thought, okay, time's running out and all I've got is these dry beans and I don't really want to use canned beans. I don't even know if I have any canned beans on the shelf. So what are we going to do? We're going to use the Instant Pot and we're going to make ham and beans soup. So let's pull you in closer and let's get this started because my family's hangry. In the Instant Pot, I have 8 cups of water. So we've got that part out of the way. And the next thing I need to do is we're going to go ahead and open up our sucky bag here. This is what I used, my chamber vacuum sealer to seal these bags. If you want to know information more on how I actually did this and the process of why and how I did this, I do have a video. I'll try to remember to link it somewhere and put that out for you so you can see that. Now I've got my little dry bag. I got to make sure I pull that out of there. And then I need to run over to the sink and give this a quick rinsey rinse. Okay, so we have rinsed our beans and then I'm just going to kind of go through them and make sure we don't have any accidental little rock pieces because that's the worst thing about using the dried beans is that sometimes you'll see a little pebble or a bad bean. And because I didn't put these in floating water, what we'll do is we'll check the Instant Pot, and if any of these start to float, we know that they are bad beans. So we're just basically looking for pebbles. It's not really as much of a problem now as it was in years back because we have the technology now to run machines that can really detect all that stuff and really it's not really an issue that it used to be in, say, our grandparents' era. So we have no floaties. So our beans are all good. So the next thing I want to do is put these bones down in there because instead of cooking them in a broth, we're going to make a broth with our bones. And of course, with any good broth, you want to add onion. This is optional, but not for me. Make sure you're saving these outer skins because of course you can use those later to make a vegetable broth or stock of some sort in the future. But I'm actually wanting to just be able to cook the broth in and make it at the same time as we're cooking our beans. So I don't want to have to make the broth separate. I'm just going to go ahead and chop these onions up. My family loves onions. So I'm going to make sure I chop them up so that they'll be in there with it. Otherwise, I would say just, cut your onion in half and put it in there. But I'm just going to kind of rough chop this. We don't mind pieces of onion bits in our soups and stews. So into the pot they will go. And I see there's still plenty of room for liquid in here. And this is just the amount you need to cook beans. So if you're just wanting to cook beans, you could stop right here. But because I'm wanting to make this a soup, I'm gonna go ahead and put extra liquid in now rather than when I add the ham in because I want to go ahead and have as much of that brothy flavor rather than add water later or broth. Make sense? I hope so. So into the pot, we'll go another 4 cups. And that just about basically gets us to our max line right here. It's just 2/3 full. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and put that lid right on there. She's gonna sing her song to us. Doing it wrong. There we go. So we wanna make sure we're not venting. We wanna have that closed. Okay, normally, like if you're making soup, you'd push the soup button. You don't wanna do that because we're making beans. I'm gonna pressure cook this on high for 30 minutes. The beans I'm using today are a mixed bean. They are pinto beans and Great Northern beans. If you're cooking just beans, you need to cook your pinto beans for 25 minutes and you need to cook your Great Northern for 35 minutes. So what I'm choosing to do is I'm going to cook it for 30 minutes, then we'll take the bone out, and then we'll go ahead and add our ham back in, and then we'll go ahead and cook it for just a little bit longer. This is the perfect time now that if you're like my family and you like cornbread, whip yourself up some cornbread to have with your ham and bean soup. See you back in a bit. Let's take my little zippy bag and start me a new vegetable broth bag. So the Instant Pot has gone off, and because I'm wanting to do another step, normally you would want it to naturally release for 20 minutes, but I'm gonna go ahead and we're going to let that go because I want to go ahead and get that ham in there next, and then we'll finish cooking it. Okay, so I will open this up. Ooh, doesn't that look lovely? The onions are definitely cooked. I'm going to fish out these bones. I'm gonna pull off we can pull off any meat that we want off of that. There's fat. Make sure we get that. We don't want that in there. I feel like there's one more. Yep, there it is. One more bone. Now I grew up and we would take a ham hock and you'd use that to make your ham and bean soup with. And this is gonna be nice and soupy. I've seen people use collard greens. That is not, I didn't grow up using that, so I don't know anything about that. But you know what? I do have some kale, and I kind of think I want to put that kale in here. I think that might be good. And be a good way to use it up too, because it's kind of looking, I was going to make a different soup, and I feel like maybe I should use this kale and buy some fresh kale when I'm ready for the next soup. Next, I've got about 1 pound of pre-cooked diced ham. And we're just gonna dump that on in there. Okay, so I think I'll go ahead and add this just to kind of fill it up a little bit. Honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna get the other made before this goes bad. And this is pre-washed and cut kale, so will be perfect to put in here. This is gonna fill us up a little bit, but if you've ever worked with kale or any greens, really, they will go down. So you can already see that it's already starting to kind of wilt and do its thing. See, one of these beans is nice and soft. Here's the white bean, and it is still a little hard, but not bad. I mean, it's edible. And this is cooled enough where I can take the bits of meat and go ahead and add those back into the pot. Don't want any of the fat. We've already got what we needed off of it while we made our broth. Not a lot left, but just a little. And now I need to add in some seasonings because we had not done that yet. I just remembered. Basket of seasonings. Let's just see what pops up. We're definitely gonna add some pepper, salt-free seasoning, just because I like the seasonings that go in it. But we will definitely add the salt, plenty of salt. Let's see, I think that's about it. All I can find is like sage and stuff. This is a little Maggie's seasoning. Ooh, you can put Danos on about everything. That's cheesening though, we don't want that. Oh, this is what I was wanting. Creole. We want to add a little of that in there. I think that'd go really well. Give this another quick stir. I think this is going to make for a lovely soup. Okay, so the lid will go back on. We will seal it. And I'm going to pressure cook this. I'm going to take it down to 10 minutes. And then we'll be ready to eat. So now the 10 minutes is up. We're going to release it again. It finally went down. Let's look at it. Let's see what it is. See what happened. Ooh. So I've got just plain old cornbread with, you know, from the honey cornbread out of the box. That's all this is. And I like to put mine in slivers. And I'm going gonna get a big old heaping spoon of the substance and then of the broth. Ooh, 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 hot, hot, hot. This is supper tonight. Soupy, delicious. And I'm gonna get a little bit of everything here. Give it a quick little taste test. I wanna make sure I get some beans. The one thing I think I might have done differently if I would have had the time. Okay, so from start to finish, this took about 2 hours, which doesn't sound super fast, but if you've ever worked with dry beans, yes, this is super fast, because sometimes it can take days to prepare to make your beans. So, start to finish, 2 hours, not bad. This is good. I might have added a little garlic. Other than that, I think we're good to go. Let me know, how do you make your ham and beans? Have you ever used the Instant Pot? What's your favorite recipe? Let me know in the comments below. Bye for now.